Hello, 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 crossroads witches and other interesting magical beings. So wonderful to see you here. Of course, I'm going to start out with a video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know the spiel, not going to go into it. I'm Taryn S., folk witch, southern conjure, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why Hecate does not like you. Yeah, you, right over there. You're the one I'm talking to. All right. I did another video a while back on, the Hecate doesn't like me trope, in which at this point I feel like it's a trope, all right? Which is, because it seems like there seems to be a little bit of gatekeeping going on here. But it seems that if you get out there on the internet, social media, the matrix, all right, that you've heard stuff that's absolutely asinine. You've heard that, you can't work with Hecate if you're a beginner. I really like that one. The other one is that she demands honey and garlic at the literal crossroads. Or that you need to know her every title beginning in Greek before lighting a single candle. And of course you can tell by the tone of my voice, that's some nonsense. Hecate doesn't dislike you or anyone because you didn't follow someone else's rules. She is not the cosmic judge with a clipboard grading your altar setup. Hecate is the ancient goddess of the crossroads, of, magic, and of the mysteries of the unseen, is far more complex, compassionate, and powerful than the internet gatekeepers would have you believe. And I want to first talk, and y'all know I always have notes. For those of you who are new, I always have notes. I ain't not fancy, I just have my notes typed out. I've yet to figure out that teleprompter thing. So, I got an email. I got a very sincere, heartfelt email that just sort of made me think about it. And that's the basis of this video. And I want to start out with, thank you, Winter Raven, for your email. And I'm not going to get into all of the actual of the email, because I do think some things are left private. But basically, this beautiful witch is dealing with the trauma of growing up in a, Baptist belt. She's in Georgia, she Baptist belt Baptist. And just so you know, I'm First Baptist. So Southern Baptist. Yes, yes, yes. My grandma was Primitive Baptist. So it's, yes, I completely understand what you're saying there. But, and that she had this, Christianity versus, relationship with Hecate, and in the process of it, and she ended up turning her back on it all, trashed her statue. So, her question was, is Hecate a forgiving goddess? Will she still love me? And that sent me back, because I was just like, ooh, there's a good question to be asking on our spiritual journeys, of understanding that sometimes what we thought we didn't need, we have to go back to. And the question is, can I go back to it? And in regard to the goddess Hecate, I ended up doing notes, shooting video, because Winter Ravens, will she still like me? Does Hecate not like me anymore because I threw her statue away and said that I'm done with this? Because I went back to Christianity. I went back to some Jesus juice. And I sat back and I thought, you know, where's the information? Where's the inspiration? And so I got on TikTok. I shouldn't have done that. That's a bad place. Don't go there. They got some, oh my, is all I'm saying with some of the stuff I have. And that's what I was talking earlier about. They were talking about you got to learn all of her titles in Greek. And I'm like, I'm not Greek. Why am I learning her titles? All right. You have to do these elaborate things. Beginners can't do this. All I heard was gatekeeping, gatekeeping, gatekeeping. And I was like, what the hell? Why? All right. Because if I look at her as her historical roots, who the hell's Hecate? Hekate. They're both correct pronunciations. It's like a southerner and a northerner talking to each other. In the south, obviously, we have a bit of a twang. Up north, they have a whole different accent. So when we hear people talk about Hecate, Hekate, and they're like, oh no, you're supposed to say it this way. Oh no, you're supposed to say it this way. Well, let me give y'all right here. Both ways are acceptable. All right? Both are acceptable. I felt like I had to repeat that one. So, who the hell is Hecate? First of all, she's old. She's like old. Like ancient Greece before ancient Greece old. Because she was incorporated into the Greek mythology. And from Greek mythology, she ended up in Anatolia. And from Anatolia, she ended up in the Roman mythology. And girlfriend always kept her space. And oftentimes you'll hear it talked about within the Roman gods, the Titans, the Olympians, the Greek gods. Both Roman and Greek had this sense where we are up high. Hecate was in those spaces. Even though she predates their own myth stories, she was incorporated in, all right? I mean, so Hecate is about, you know, I may be from ancient over here, but I'm going to go modern. I'm going to go Greek. I'm going to go modern. I'm going to go Roman. And now we find 21st century Hecate. All right? We're all of us. I'm not going to say a devotee, but I've been giving honor and reverence to her for a very long time. In classic mythology, Hecate was the goddess of thresholds and transitions. She was honored at literal crossroads, doorways, and liminal spaces where physical and spiritual worlds intersect. Offering to Hecate was left at these places, often on the night of a dark moon, to seek her guidance or protection. Her domains include the crossroads, both literal and symbolic, where choices are made, where paths converge. She is also the goddess of magic and witchcraft. She is a patroness of the witches. That's why many of us modern witches sort of vibe with her. She holds the keys to hidden knowledge and unseen realms. One of her other domains is the underworld. She is a psychopomp, guiding souls between the world of the living and the dead. She is also the goddess of the night and the moon, where we see her carrying torches, lighting the way through darkness. And it's honestly no wonder that she's popular right now. We freaking need her. You know, we're living in a time of profound transitions, individually, collectively, globally. People are looking for guidance, protection, and empowerment as they navigate these crossroads. And Hecate's energy speaks to those directly to those needs. And right now it does feel like chaos, you know? And in the chaos of modern life, she represents empowerment. Hecate encourages us to take control of our choices and walk our paths with confidence. She represents wisdom. Her connection to the unseen makes her a source of insight during uncertain times. She is a protector. She is a guardian of the thresholds. She offers safety and strength in the face of adversity. And she offers also connections. She bridges the worlds of the living and the dead, helping us to honor our ancestors and explore deeper spiritual truths. I mean, let's be honest, we need Hecate's energy now more than ever, all right? In a world where everything seems uncertain, her torches light the way. She reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there's a path forward, and the power to choose lies within us. Now, unfortunately, there's always an upside, downside, and oh, she's popular, but on the flip side of the upside and the downside, we got these folks called gatekeepers. And these folks, you know them, the self-proclaimed experts saying stuff like, Hecate won't work with you if you're a beginner. Or she only accepts offerings of garlic at the physical crossroads on the 7th day of the 7th month of the 7th hour under a dark moon that's only seen once every 50 years. I want to say something, and I want to make sure I say this right, so I'm going to read my words. This kind of gatekeeping does nothing but discourage people from building their own relationships with Hecate. It creates unnecessary fear and doubt, especially for beginners who are already stepping into unfamiliar territory. And here's the thing. Hecate does not care if your altar is picture perfect or if you're still learning. She values your sincerity, your effort, and your respect. She is not interested in how many books you've read or how many rituals you've done. She's interested in your willingness to grow, transform, and face your crossroads with courage. And I also want to add a historical note here. In ancient Greece, offerings to Hecate weren't about perfection. People left simple items, bread, eggs, fish, or even onions at the crossroads to honor her. It's the act of giving, not the offering itself, that mattered. And sometimes in ancient Greece, and putting a perspective, the onion was a pretty darn valuable thing. People left meaningful items, meaningful foods, their own personal relationship with Hecate. That's why there's a list of items. And those are only the items we know. There's probably a lot more we don't know. So don't think you have to have this in order to leave an offering. I have to have a certain food. I have to have all this. No, you don't. Go in your house, your cupboard, pantry, refrigerator, and pull out an offering. You already have an offering to her. You don't go to the store to buy it. And right now, we need Hecate. We're really in a state of constant chaos. Small ones, big ones, internal ones, everyday ones, in-between ones that overwhelm us. And it's no wonder everybody's like, Hecate! All right, Hecate's energy is about navigating these moments with clarity and strength. About tapping into the magic that is within you. She helps us to find our way when we're lost, stand our ground when we're unsure, and move forward when we're stuck. And here's the most beautiful thing about Hecate. She doesn't offer easy answers. She does not take the choices out of your hands. Instead, she shines her torch and says, here are your options. The path is yours to walk. She is there to guide you, not direct you. Yeah, I know, that's some powerful words right there. So, now we're all thinking, ooh, this sounds good. How do I connect with the Hecate? Well, keep it simple. Start with a small, sincere offering. Light a candle, say a prayer. Leave a token at a threshold or a crossroads. Be authentic. Your connection to Hecate doesn't have to look like anyone's else. Actually, let me rephrase that. Your connection to Hecate should not look like anyone else's. Trust your instincts and build a practice that is meaningful to you. Ask for guidance. Hecate is a goddess of wisdom. Meditate. Journal, use divination tools, tarot, runes, bones, numbers, whatever your divination, tea leaves. But she is that goddess to call upon when you're looking for guidance. Use your tools to help her send that message. And to remember to honor her with respect. Hecate does not require elaborate rituals. What she values is your genuine effort and reverence. And this is simply as lighting a candle and sitting and breathing for a moment. And, Hecate, guide me through this crossroads. That's it. All right? You don't have to be doing all sorts of stuff. And let me say this one more time for the witches in the back. Hecate doesn't dislike you. She isn't waiting for you to mess up your altar or mispronounce her name so that she can withhold her blessings. If you approach her with sincerity, she'll meet you where you are. Hecate just isn't the goddess for the perfect witch or devotee. She is a goddess for anyone standing at the crossroads, searching for guidance, strength, and transformation. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or just starting your journey, her torch is there to light your way. She is waiting. She's not waiting to judge you. She's waiting to guide you. And she understands that our journeys are sometimes messy. And that when we come back with sincerity, she's always there for us. So as Winter Raven asked me, will she forgive me? I don't think she ever thought of not doing it in the first place, because you never did anything wrong to ask for forgiveness. You are on your personal journey. And for many of us coming out of the dogma of the evangelical system, it's been beat into your bones. And you're going to have to go through that journey. And some days you're that, as you said, Bible guilt. And slowly learning to understand that divinity is bigger than anything written in King James Version of the Bible. All Christianity did was put God in a box. But God never put themselves in a box. And also, I do have a little bonus. Please go to houseofwitchcraft.com. You will see where you can, the Hecate article I've been reading from, if you want to go back and reread what I was talking about. More importantly, it has Hecate's protection ritual. This is a spell work for honoring the goddess and creating a magic bag. It's very simple. I'm not going to read it out loud and go through it here on it, but I did want to show something as we've been sitting here. It's the whole time we've been sitting here, my altar to Hecate's been sitting here with us, witches. And let me put this down so that I can, when people, what does my altar look like? This is obsidian, which is a very special stone that I resonate with. It is grounding. It is the unknown. It is seeking clarity. For me, this is Hecate. Right underneath this stone are keys. I don't know if I can quite show them so y'all can see them, but it's a pretty little 3 keys with a couple of beads between it. Because as we know, 2 buttons and a bead is all the magic you'll ever need. And of course, a little red thread helps. But when I am lighting a candle to Hecate, when I'm doing Hecate's space, this is what I set up. My obsidian ball and some keys. And I may light a candle. I may write a small petition, small piece of paper, and tuck it up under there. I may sprinkle some herbs around it. I may take my ball, and you'll see me sit here and start, and I'll, Hecate, goddess of the crossroads, keeper of keys. Come to me, show me what I seek. And I'll start talking into the ball. Taking and blowing my breath, that 4th breath we do, where you breathe out, and then that final breath is a magic breath. It's the breath of inside, the breath of self, the breath of soul. There's all sorts of names for it, but it's that last, and putting that essence of self. And I've worked with this obsidian ball for probably about 2 decades now. So it's really vibing. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I have to finish this video and not start dancing around and chanting. But when we think about our altar, she was talking about, the statue of Hecate, Winter Raven, and the email was, she threw out her statue of Hecate, and that was very disrespectful. And I was like, because you thought so. Not because Hecate thought so. And that it's just a statue. I mean, if I drop the ball and it breaks, yes, it would be tragic. I would not be happy with my obsidian cracking and falling apart. But I can get another one. I can get another statue of Hecate. I can get something else. And there are many of you who have those moments of of indecision, uncertainty, wavering on your spiritual path because you carry the religious trauma luggage from your childhood. And those moments of, I'm doing this wrong, I'm burning in hell and throwing it all away, you know, and then 3 months, 9 months, you know, years later, you're sitting there like, I shouldn't have thrown it away. Oh no, I was wrong. All right. I just want you to know there's never a point where it's too late. There's never a point where you're like, you know, oh, I can't go back. As I said earlier, the spiritual path, the awakening of spirit, the awakening of magic is not linear. Linear is not a straight line of, I'm always going to be like this. I wake up and I'm happy, and I'm always happy, and I'm ever not happy. That's not the truth of it. And sometimes it is messy, and sometimes you don't know, and that's okay. It's keep your authentic voice, all right? And you're allowed to have different seasons. And Hecate will always be there waiting for you. She's been with us for thousands of years. And I got a feeling she's going to be with us thousands and thousands more. All right? And so with that said, witches, get out there, fly those brooms, have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and bobo. Oh, shit. Y'all, I'm supposed to be doing the art of self-promotion. You need to go to houseofwitchcraft.com because that's where the article is I read. Also, we have the 13 Moons community where you can come and join us. We get together every Thursday. Also, on the first Thursday of the month is our community virtual chat. It's open to anyone. If you just go to the houseofwitchcraft.com and get our newsletter. If you don't want to get on our newsletter, you can join our Facebook group, in which is the House of Witchcraft. Very creative. But you can join the House of Witchcraft on Facebook, and we post when we have our first Thursday of the month, open to anyone. We have different speakers coming in, different authors, all sorts of different people that I ask them to come and sit and chit-chat with us. And we get to hear their own personal voice on it. And of course, I'm an author. I wrote Hoodoo in the Psalms, which is an international bestseller. I wrote Conjuring Dirt, which is doing well. And then I also have several independent published books. Please go check those out. And of course, hit like and subscribe. That is the biggest thing on YouTube. All right. I think I'm done with self-promotion. Get out of here. Bye. Thanks so much. Hello. Okay, my notes are... Y'all know my notes. Okay, that's the first page. Okay, wait. Oh, that's the first page. All right. Okay, how does it go? All right, that's how it goes. I don't even know how I'm trying. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm trying. Ooh, there you are, sweetheart. Okay, let's see if I can't keep myself together here. All right, my notes. I got my notes. So, ooh. Take a second and do the... Oh, happy stick. Woo! No, wait. I know if I sit it down there, I will knock it over. All right. Yes. Getting your head straight. I want to say wise words. I want to say empower. Why do I make my videos. And this is the question I ask myself every time I sit down. To empower, to inspire, and to encourage. And to pass the magic to the next generation. And that I'm blessed enough. Yeah, I am going to turn 61 in February. I know. I can't believe it. I'm so happy that I'm there, and not only that, that I'm there in good health. That I can still, I'm not going to say run, jump, and play, but I can like sort of run, sort of jump, but I can still play. You know, where I'm just at that point, I'm thinking, you know, where we all talk about what do we want to leave? What do I want? You know, where do I want my name whispered? And I'm so grateful for YouTube. For me to be able to pass it on, you know, I was a young witch. Excuse me. I was a young witch. I mean, I had, first time I ever got around like a group of witches, I was 17 years old. And I knew they were witches. And so, you know, I really thought I was a witch. So of course I stalked them. And she basically told me that I had to wait 3 months for when I turned to 18, and then I could, you know, come and participate in their tea circle. She never used the word coven. You know, this, you also have to understand the context of the time where we're talking the early 80s, all right? You know, and the 60s and 70s was the satanic panic. And my high priestess had very much awareness of that. So there was like words you didn't use. And the word coven was definitely something not used. It was really on the down low as far as, and within folk magic, within Southern conjure, the word coven wasn't part of the vocabulary in that sense either. It was more like quilting circles. And those ladies would be sitting there quilting some magic, you know. It was more like getting together for an afternoon tea, inviting your friends over for, you know, the summer party. We're going to have a summer party, but we never called it summer solstice or we did a summer ritual. We just had a summer party. The words we didn't have. We didn't have the vocabulary that we have today. And I'm grateful for the vocabulary we have today, because I often talk about, you know, old school folk magic. When we were growing up, nobody said any of those words to us. So when people walked up and they're like, "Are you doing this?" And you're just like, "I don't know. I'm just doing, Grandma said I was doing something. And then, you know, having these people come up and start putting labels, descriptors, you know, and for us within the folk magic realm, having to embrace some of these descriptors where we talk about the Appalachian magic. I talk about Low Country. We talk about New Orleans. We talk about the Alabama swamp witches. We talk about, you know, that Texas, Tex-Mex flavor they got going on down there with their folk magic. But we all didn't have words. And, you know, for I think many of us, it's like, you know, the past 20, the past 10, 15, past 20 years, we've learned better vocabulary so that we can give and acknowledge respect to a lot of other folk magic that isn't ours, but at the same time is still part of the roots of ours, if that makes sense. You know, because I often refer to American folk magic as this just giant, funky gumbo of fun. Because that's what it is. It's a funky gumbo. And when you really start to embrace it, it damn sure is fun. All right? So here's your bonus at the end. You watched me till the end footage, which is actually the beginning, because now I'm going to be pressing the button and shooting the video. And I drank a beer before I shot this particular video, because I am neurodivergent, meaning autism, on the spectrum, however you want to call us. Again, when I was talking about words, I've been like this my whole life, but the vocabulary to describe who and what I am wasn't there. It's been playing catch up with me. And so it's not been but the past decade or so that I've actually gotten the right tools and my own self of understanding of why I am like this, And it was very freeing to finally get a clinical diagnosis, because I had, spent actually probably closer to 40 years being not diagnosed. I mean, I was 12 when my mom was like, why can't you be like the other kids? Because she didn't even understand or know. So it was no fault on her, she just knew something was different. And again, those descriptors did give me a place of understanding where I sort of understand why I do some of the things I do. And when people, approach me, I can put a little warning label, because if you do meet me in person, I'm socially awkward. YouTube's giving me this wonderful ability where I talk to a camera and I don't have to worry about some of the social signals that befuddle me, and that, I'm a work in progress on that, but I want to meet people, I want to be social, but sometimes I'm too literal, too blunt. I mean, if you ask me my opinion, you're gonna get it. All right. And it's honest. So I'm not, trying to throw shade, nothing. I'm gonna tell you, if I really love it, I love it. If I really don't like it, I don't like it, and I'm gonna keep it real. And over the years, now that I've gotten to integrate all of these things together and understanding the importance of labels, but at the same time learning not to put myself in a box because of that label, it has allowed me to have a broader reach, more understanding, nuanced conversations with folks, because instead of them thinking, why is she acting like that? I've heard, hey, I'm on the spectrum. Spicy neuros going on here. And so odds are I have 5 thoughts going on in my head. I don't have ADHD, but I have such similar characteristics and traits that some people are like, oh, you have ADHD? And I'm like, no, I'm just straight up autistic, bitch. And that means that my brain is thinking about a lot of different things. That's my level, my area. It's not like that true for all folks on the spectrum, and understanding that nuance of spectrum. And I'm going to segue, and then I'm going to end the bonus chat. When people were talking about binary choices, this or this, black, white, boy, girl, normal, abnormal, and those are probably not the best choices. This is off the top of my head. But what it made me realize was there was a spectrum. And if there's a spectrum in mentality and mental, of course there's going to be a spectrum in our physiology, in our psychology, and in our sexuality. And so I'm like thinking, there's science showing you that things are on a range, a spectrum. There is no either or choice. Again, that binary myth of some bullshit. And instead, it's this beautiful rainbow of colors. And for each of us to learn to embrace, I guess, where we are in our own different rainbows, but to really embrace who we are. And I look at the younger generations, sometimes with a little bit of envy, because y'all are a step ahead of us, my age, when I was younger. We didn't get the words and the descriptors. So we struggled with who we are, how we are, why we are. And today we have a lot of that. So it helps you. And I know right now the world, especially here in America, is pretty effed up. I know how that, trying to tell you that you don't have a place. But I want you to know science, which I just explained, and Mother Nature says you do, says I do, that I'm not part of the normal make eye contact and actually engage with each other. I'm like still learning to do it. I'm like step 3, but that we are allowed to be more than what the choices are. Where it's like, oh, again, binary choice, binary thinking. And it works in magic, because we talk about dark magic, white magic. And I'm like, dude, magic's on a spectrum. And again, to that, science has taught us that things are on a spectrum. Mother Nature tells us things are on a spectrum. Witchcraft tells us things are on a spectrum. And I know right now, old white guys don't say that, but I want y'all to know they're wrong. However you are right now in this moment, your expression of self is who you're supposed to be. And it's about learning to embrace it. And it's a journey. It's a journey I'm on. And that it's okay to mess it up. I spoke earlier about things aren't linear. We often think of this, I shall always go, but it's more like this. Is what our journeys are like. And to embrace who we are. And so here's the end to my bonus. All right, I'm curious to see who watched to the end of the bonus. So if you did, would you please just leave a little comment with Taryn. I'll watch till the end. And y'all know I like them secret giveaways. And I have a couple of House of Witchcraft t-shirts that need to have a secret giveaway. And so do be creative and tell me a little bit on why you think you deserve, and I will pay for postage. All you got to do is send me your address, all right? But I got a couple of House of Witchcraft t-shirts that I would love for anybody that might be interested. And so with that said, witches, I'm going to start the video that y'all done already watched. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll catch you on the flip side.